Craig, you look happier than normal, kind of. Anything happened today that you want to talk about? You're on mute. You're on mute. Don't take no.
Oh, I said
Okay.
unmute. So yeah, no, took the certification test today and I passed and it was amazing. So
That's
big
awesome.
relief.
Hey, I know you're relieved. That's awesome. So give them a little background. You don't have to tell them exactly what you do, but where do you come from?
Are you talking about like just the history of like what I do?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, just so you know, what you do. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So been 23 years, going on 24 years in the military. Started transitioning out this year. Looking for jobs in project management really excited me, and just to see all the jobs that require or prefer to have a PMP kind of inspired me to get to this point really. So yeah, it was a journey, I will say that, but man, this course is just so amazing. It helped so much. So
That's
um,
cool.
I heard about this from another. He was an officer, one of my officers, lieutenant. His name's Darren Highland, and he's the one that introduced me to Scott in the program. And man, I could have been happier that I chose this one, all right, instead of some of the other ones that I don't know if they're as successful or not. But man,
That's
it's
awesome.
great.
That's cool, man. Well, you did great. So let's just talk about the exam. I know that's what we'll talk about the exam first, then we'll go about like the study process. So were you nervous like yesterday, day before? Like what were you like last night? I kind of know, but why don't you just tell them what you were like last night?
Yeah. So I was actually sitting here going over, the 50-50. I was doing the 50-50 game there all last week, basically, just refreshing my mind with it. And then I grabbed the workbook that I had when I was enrolled in an old course,
Yeah.
and I started looking at the end questions, the end of the exam questions for that course. And it freaked me out. And I completely was like, oh no, I've been studying wrong. I don't have the material down as much as I want. And I really freaked out. And my wife, thank God for her, because she reeled me in a little bit. Then we went back to the material and the questions from this course, and was like, I know this stuff, but I completely freaked out last night and
Yeah.
was not in the right mindset. But again, with my wife's help and really got me back on track and just trusted the process, to be honest with you. And then
Yeah.
today, it really paid off because I'm glad I didn't keep going down that rabbit hole
Yep.
and just trusted it. And then just going over the exam questions in there, I was like, oh, I got this, right? Like immediately. Question one, I was like, if they're like this, we're good. And it was the course content in this course is so on point with what you're going to need to know and be tested on. You're going to do great.
That's awesome, man. So it was like you don't have to tell us the exact percentages or whatever, it's hard to know. Was it like even like waterfall, agile, like hybrid deep stuff? Like what was the feel like, dude?
I kind of spaced out, kind of keeping track of that.
Yeah.
I will say it felt more hybrid-ish
Okay.
during the questions. There are definitely some, key terms that they use. There's like, am I in the agile? Am I in waterfall? Am I in
Yeah.
those things? But throughout the questions and then the answers, you can figure it out. So the process that you're going to do tonight, with these hard questions that you do in those coaching calls about eliminating, you can strike through. It's not as easy on the actual exam, but you can like highlight it and strike through on there. But just the deduction of what the wrong answer is first really helped me. Like, nope, nope, that's not right. Yep, this may be. Yep, that has to be the answer. It completely on par with how you should be taking that exam.
That's awesome. So like before you got here, your military, lots of years experience. That's awesome. Did you know anything about waterfall or agile? Did you know any like those terms? So those are totally new to you.
Had zero clue. I've been a project manager in the military for a long time. Zero glossary terms that I know. I didn't even know, and
Right.
just to be honest with you, I didn't know stakeholder, right?
Yeah. The word.
So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I had zero knowledge of what I learned in this course besides trying to apply that to what I have done and understand that into the context of how I was operating, right? So zero. I had zero clue of what this course was going to entail.
And then like we had talked a good amount, a lot, and talked to, individually. I saw your results and they're really, really good. So how did you make that connection? You said something a second ago about like relating it to your job, or like how did you get it? Because you obviously understand it. You did super well in the exam. I see your scores. I see all of them. You did fantastic. How did you make those connections in your brain, man?
That I think that's just how I learn. To be honest with you, is like how does this apply, and how would I use the correct terminology if I were to go back to work, and
Hmm.
apply these terms and start over really with my communication method to the people that I'm leading, the projects that I'm leading, and I just try to connect that. And
Okay.
how would I teach somebody else the proper terms versus what we use, terminology in the military, which is a crazy term, crazy
Yeah,
term.
you got your own little language.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's wild.
So that's really how I connected the two is really just how I would have taught somebody else from what I was learning.
That's a really good way to do it. So you're like, it wasn't some like thing you're putting on a shelf or some ivory tower thing. You were saying, all right, let me take it in, let it marinate. How would I explain it to one of your soldiers? Your brass up above, down below, anything, whatever. So you made it your own. That's awesome. Now, like you stick to the process like pretty darn religiously. You went through, except for the last evening, whatever, no big deal. Like, but you really went in there. Did you feel like you were ready, or did you just still? Because everybody has these like doubts. Did you ever have doubts and stuff?
I didn't before last night, to be
Okay.
honest. Well,
Yeah.
let me start over. At the beginning, I absolutely did. When it was just
Right.
overwhelming with
Yeah.
information, and you see how many videos there are, how much content there is. If you review the pen box at all, it was
Yeah.
like, oh my goodness, it's going to take me years to learn all this. So at the beginning, I was, and then as I
Yeah.
started progressing through the course content and then taking the quizzes, like yeah, the cementing your knowledge ones, the final exam ones, man. Like, and I'll tell you at the end when I did the final ones, we kind of went over this on the coaching call
Yeah.
on Monday. We went over some of the final questions as well, and those questions are hard, hard.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, none of the questions that you're going to have are going to be that hard to figure out. There are
Right.
going to be some that are just like I don't really know. There's definitely some terms that I didn't either catch on
Right.
into the program or whatnot. But again, the deduction of the actual answers really helped because I would have just been sitting there like, oh, I have no idea what to do at this point. So yeah, definitely a doubts. But throughout the course, by the end of it, I was like, no, I got this again until last night
Yeah.
when I freaked out. So
That's all right. That's reasonable. And you were a Jan person, right? That's your accountability coach. Or were you Jan, or who were you, Matt or
Jan,
Jan?
it's
Jan.
Jan.
Okay. So how did it go? Like different perspectives, like Benita, Scott, we all teach differently. Matthew, Jan, everybody. Like, what was it like being in like the accountability calls? How did you get the most out of those, sir?
Listening to everybody else's perspectives and trying to draw like especially when I didn't know something it's like what was their perspective and how did they get to that and then during the coaching calls Jan does a really good job of breaking down like hey yeah this is why this is the right answer right like this was where you were at in the actual like question right like what am I the project manager am I the sponsor
Mhm.
where are you so just the breakdown of the whole class, right? Any one of those coaching calls, you all do such a good job of explaining why, right? The
Okay.
why, not just well, this is what the book says. No, like this
Yeah.
is what you should be doing, and so that
Mhm.
really helped. But the perspectives, honestly, from everybody else in the calls, really helped me, and that's what I did Monday. Really was we started going over the final questions. I wanted to hear the other people break them down and that helped me. And it actually was like great to watch and go over these very very hard questions,
Yeah.
and then be like, yeah, maybe no, strike that out, and then get back to it, and then they get to the right answer. You can tell that the learning process is there, and that you're just solidifying everything that's happening in this course.
That's
It's
awesome.
great, man.
That's good. Yeah. And like from my perspective, like watching, like the student becomes the coach and the teacher halfway through. That's why I don't answer any questions like directly. Like it's like, hey, you ask, like, what do you think? Because I want you to like go deeper. And like I could see that way early on that you were just like, you were wrestling with the stuff, you were explaining it, you were listening. All those things are just what you would need to be successful. We'll open up for questions in a second, so like everybody else think of something. And then additionally, like we watch the videos, take the quizzes. Were there any other tools like that we had that you used that like were helpful or anything that you liked? You don't have to.
So, like I had discussed with you before, I still think because my learning style, I still
Yeah.
want a workbook.
Yeah.
I would highly suggest doing that again. That really
Yeah.
helps, just reviewing information.
Yeah, the tactile part of it, like the kinesthetic. Yeah. Well, I'll
Yeah.
make one. I'll make like that version. Yeah, that's not too hard. Yeah.
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 But what I did in this one is I took the one-page summaries that are
Yeah.
available. I printed those out and I took notes on those as I was watching the videos. But to be honest with you, I didn't really go back to them that much. I
Yeah.
just reviewed the content. But when you miss the question, if you don't understand it, the videos that pop up on the right relating to those things really help because it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I get it now, right? And honestly, I just went back not to the ones that I got right, to the ones that I
Mhm.
missed and like, what was I thinking? And oh yeah, I was way off at that point. Watch a video here and there, and then just solidify that knowledge. Yeah, those are the things that
That's
help. But I'm telling you this, I didn't use much outside of the course content itself. The game is really cool. I played the actual 49 processes game.
yeah.
I did that again last night after I freaked out. Like, do I really know the processes? So I will say that knowing the outputs, the inputs and outputs, definitely came in handy because I did a lot of studying about with that before. So I
Right.
knew exactly where I was at in the process, right? And I don't remember if it was the last course or this course, Scott,
Yeah.
but you're the one who gave me the perspective of that document is a living, breathing thing, right? And I shared that on Monday as well. And that really helped me instead of, hey, a traditional waterfall, everything happens in a sequence. Not
Yeah.
really, but you
Yeah.
do need to know where you're at and what the input, where you're at, what the input is and what the output is. You don't have to memorize it because you
No,
go
it's like a
over
feel
all
thing,
this stuff.
right? You get
Yeah.
the perspective. Yeah. That's,
Yep.
dude, I love the way you're talking about this stuff. Let's open it up a little bit for some questions. Anybody out there got some questions for Craig as he just passed? What other questions do you have for him?
Hey Craig, congratulations. Super
Hi, thank
proud of you,
you.
dude. Super proud of you.
Thanks.
So I know you were really freaking out the night before, but like once you went to a facility, you didn't do it at home, correct?
That's correct.
How did you keep your nerves calm? What did you do from the time you got out to the car to walk it up to that door?
Well, I'll tell you, I didn't sleep much, but I did my normal routine. Honestly, besides, I started with a cup of coffee, which I don't drink coffee. So
Okay. Goodness.
I
What a
had
day
to,
to start, dude. What,
yeah,
what go-
I had to take it very easy on that. So I just had a couple sips of coffee to
All
get me
right.
going. But I mean, I was really prepared for it, right? Like I knew you can't bring anything in there to the
Yeah.
testing facility. You can bring it in the facility if they have lockers, but you got to leave everything. I mean, they basically search you like you're at the airport, like pull your pockets out, to like you pat yourself down. They don't pat you down, but they don't want to hear like paper or anything,
Yeah.
rustling. And so they really do the check. But to keep my nerves calm is honestly is like, I know this material. I
Yeah.
know I do. And I just want to know if everything I've been doing for the past 2 months is paying off and where was it right? Was I studying correctly? Were the coaching calls helping? And the answer is absolutely. Like stick to the process. It really does help. I'm telling you to the point where I was like, there's no way they're not going to ask me what this acronym is, and I got to go choose these things. No, I'm telling you, like, stick to this process. Those questions are very structured very similarly. I'll tell you in this course, they're typically a lot longer
Mhm.
of an actual scenario, so it gets you thinking a little bit more. So when you get to the exam, um, it's going to make it a lot easier. But hopefully, I answer your question. Like keeping my nerves calm is try to do the same thing, right? Like, but I'll tell you, when I was done, I'm not an emotional person. But when I got, I don't have it sitting right next to me. I have it on my counter. When I
Yeah.
got that print off, the stress that was relieved seeing that I had passed was, I mean, it was undescribable.
Oh,
Thanks,
gee whiz.
Craig. That was so encouraging and motivating. Thank you for all of your honesty and truths and really giving us a good outlook on what to expect. I'm trying to be next. That's my goal.
There you
But I
go,
got a lot of
Stacy.
nerves.
That's
Yeah.
there you go. That's awesome. We got you. Let's go, Jeremy, and then we'll go Mario. Or Jenny, then Mario. Sorry. Hey, Jenny.
Hi, congratulations.
Thanks, Jenny.
That's awesome. So was there anybody else with you while taking the test simultaneously? Or do they have you like in your own cubicle?
It depends on the testing center. There were probably 20 people around me, which doesn't help me. I get distracted very easily. But they had provided like headphones that you could put on, people coughing and tapping their mouths a million miles an hour. But then there was another room where another person was at, you know what I mean? So I think it's going to depend on the testing facility, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay. My second question is, were there a lot of math questions
No,
that you came across? No.
no.
Yeah.
Now, I'll tell you this, if you know, like during these things, right? Anything, if there's an index, anything under a one, you're either over budget or, behind schedule, anything one or over, that you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll teach you all the EVM stuff you need to know, but there's not a lot of math on there anymore. It's
I will tell you, I can't tell you what the actual question is.
Yeah.
But know the communication equation, right?
Okay, yeah, I could do. Yeah, that's in
Okay.
there. Like the number of channels. Like
Yep.
we'll draw it out tonight. No big deal.
Okay.
That's good. Yeah, that's awesome. And Jenny, you're new. Don't worry. Just like you said, stick to the process. We got you. Look a little nervous. It's no big deal. We got
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on a crunch time. Like I'm in a 10-week program, so it's a little nerve-wracking.
you.
Yeah, I was on the 8-week, just to clarify.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So you got like 2 weeks of sleeping, vacation, Jenny. Like at the end, you can. Just joking. But you're good. You'll be fine. We'll talk after. Don't worry about it. Mario, yes, sir.
So first, congratulations, Craig. That's awesome.
Thanks, Mario. Appreciate
So
it.
I'm kind of in your same boat as you, 20 plus years in the military, getting ready to get out finally. A lot of the stuff that I'm going through since I'm just starting this program, I try to kind of equate to, this person is the ops guy, this person is a platoon sergeant guy. Is that a good kind of tactic to use, or to just kind of put that out and use what we're learning here?
I would say because the military, right? Like we don't have a PMO office, typically, unless you work like civil engineering or stuff. But it try to go away from that, right? Because it's not really, right? Like, yeah, you can put yourself, as like an agile coach or the scrum master a lot of times, the project manager, right? Like that's typically what I considered myself in this role. Is like I am the project manager, and just realized what channels, if we're going to connect it to the military, what channels I would have to go through to get this done.
Mhm.
Right.
Okay.
So
'Cause
however
that's
it filters down, whether it's bottomed up, top down approach, whether we're, equals at this point. So yeah, you have a lot of experience that you're going to be able to like, okay, hey, yes, this was my commander at the time, or this is my squadron commander, platoon sergeant, or whatever, right? You're gonna connect those things like I did for sure. But once I got used to the material, I don't even consider it that anymore.
Mm.
Okay, awesome. I appreciate it. Thanks, Craig.
Yep.
And Mario, we might like if you want to get together, like me, you, and maybe Greg or somebody else, like if you had specific questions, because I've always like wondered about this. Like I wasn't in the military in that sense. Like I don't speak the language. I don't understand the structures that much, but we do service a lot of y'all. And so I would love it to go in there and you just ask questions and I'll try to explain it from a PMP perspective. And then somebody else can say like, yeah, it's kind of like this to like maybe there are connections. So if you're interested in that, we can set something up like that with me, you, and somebody to kind of bridge the gaps between military, corporate life, and anywhere in between. If you want to, we can try it out. Yeah, cool. Who else has got anybody else got questions out there in TV land?
I guess I got one for you. Congrats again, man.
Hey, dude.
So I'm taking my test on the 19th.
Okay.
and I've gotten through a lot of this stuff, and I guess I'm starting to get to the point of, okay, what do I need to go back and really hone in on? I guess, what did you do for like that last few days leading up to the, besides the freak out, obviously, but what did you do up to there? Like, I guess, what did you specifically start reviewing again, or was it just based on whatever you felt like?
So again, I redid the 50-50. If you haven't done the 50-50 cards, I redid all those.
Okay.
Did all again, I think there's a lot of repetition there, right? Like I was just thinking I needed to memorize these things. Now, it did help with some of the terminology, but it depends on your learning style, right? And then I did go back over most of the final quizzes, since they were so much harder than the other ones leading up to it, and just went over the ones that I missed. I just highlighted like what did I do? So I just took some time to do that. Like I said, I played the other game, the actual 49 processes game.
Yeah, like the waterfall game or whatever. Yeah.
So I did that, and then I reviewed. What else did I review? I reviewed some of the questions from the PMI website that I had downloaded before.
Okay. Did you, so I went through the PMI process too. Did you go back and do any of those quizzes on their training thing?
No,
No? Okay.
not worth it, to be honest with you.
All right. That's good. Yeah. I don't want to anyways. I didn't like them. So
Yeah.
No
Not worth it.
problem. And then Mike, I'll look at your results tonight. I'll go in there. I was going to do it now, but I'll look at it tonight. I'll see how you're doing. I think you're doing great, dude. And then since it's just us tonight, like the 10 or 12 of us, I'll convene you, we'll put you to the ringer to see how you can be like junior coach, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I would do the same thing. We're gonna have more functionality where we're having all the questions you missed be like easily sortable. That's just coming in the next couple sprints. But yeah, I think Craig did a good job saying questions you missed, 50-50, just to like, it's fast moving, kind of like definitional kind of understanding, and then you're doing fine. So awesome.
thanks, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
All right.
one thing I do just want to share is that I was a little confused, and maybe I just didn't catch on to what the people were saying that had taken the exam. So you do have the 3 blocks of the 60 questions. I didn't realize the clock continuously runs. So it doesn't matter if you get done with the first 60 in 30 minutes, you still have the rest of the time. It doesn't like chop the time down. It's not time boxed for the actual 60 questions for the 3 different ones. I did not know that. It was really, I think I had like 59 minutes or something left when I was done. But I like freaked out because I seen like 120 or 130 or something like that in the second, almost at the end of the second one. I was like, oh my gosh, I only have an hour and 20 minutes left. Like, oh, I'm freaking out. But no, it was just minutes. So yeah, just count down minutes. So pace yourself appropriately, and you definitely cannot go back. Once you're done with one block, you can't go back to those questions. So just a little heads up, I was not ready for that.
Yeah, that's no problem. And then like the also like, just to double down on that, the time does pause during your break. So if you get like use like 50, but you could sit there, twiddle your thumbs, and use all your time on the first 60 questions if you so deem. Don't. Like, and so yeah, you did it, and then you pause, the time clock starts, and then it's not cool that they count down. I think that's like that makes me more, it feels like it's like a James Bond movie where like time's going like whatever. Yeah, so it goes down and it is in minutes. That's hard to calculate. It's weird. Yeah, but all that stuff's overcomable. How much time per question? 1 minute, 12 seconds, if you want to get specific. But here's the thing, just steady pace. Like the way we want to do it as far as pacing at the beginning, don't worry about speed. Like where you are now in the course, just worry about learning and the process of solving questions. And then as you go through, you'll get faster and faster and faster. And we actually have like quizzes that are like, well, endurance building, they bing, build you up. And then ones that do speed, like to say, all right, we got 1:45 per question, 1:30, 1:15. Now you're at that thing. And some questions you're going to get done quickly. Some you're going to take a little bit longer, but on average, you get it through. And then like Craig had nearly an hour left before the end of the test. So that's faster than the normal average bear. So that's pretty good. How did you deal with speed and stuff? Like, did you just like steady pace on the exam, or were you anything?
There was a clock on the wall, and I was like, I'm going to give myself about 50 minutes. So every now and again I'd look up like how many questions have I done? All right, what's the time? So I wasn't really trying to watch the clock because then it's like a freaking, math quiz. Like how much time?
Yeah.
What does that equate to? You know what I mean? So I just kind of allotted it, and I'm telling you because the length of the questions that you're going to go probably over tonight as well are just in general longer,
Yeah.
drawn out questions that you're going to have plenty of time, right? And so I didn't want to second guess myself. I know Jenny asked, even if you flag them, you can go back to them during when you're in the 60 questions, and it like brings up the screen and it says,
Yeah.
it's a review screen and it tells you if you answered the questions at all. And then if you flag them, you can go, oh, hey, let me review the flagged question that I had.
Yeah.
And that did help, honestly. Some of like I think on the first one I flagged 2, and then the second one I flagged 1, and then the third one I didn't flag any. But when I did go back, I changed my answer. I was like, "Yep, that's not right."
All right.
So yeah, I was just trying to pace myself and just read them like this, right? And then if you can do the speed quizzes in this course and not go over your time, you're gonna be fine. But you're gonna be completely fine.
That's awesome. Well, Craig, that's really, really great. We appreciate it. It's always sad. Like I'm super happy that you passed, but it's sad that like you're not going to be on the calls anymore. But we'll stick together. We'll do something else together. We appreciate it. You help out more people. So, last words. What do you want to leave all the folks with as they go off and continue to follow your path, man?
Again, I just want to reiterate: stick to this process. I know it says it in the videos. It is true. There isn't some crazy different format than what is happening in this course. So just realize that this course is on par to set you up for success as long as you stick to the process. Don't wait too long. I got into like a financial thing with the military paying for it, so it took me a minute, and then I was like, oh man, I got to go back and review a lot of this material. So don't take too long. Take as long as you need, obviously, right, to comprehend the material. But once you have it down and you feel comfortable, schedule your test, go take the test. You're going to be fine. And then I'm telling you, when you get that paper and it says that you passed, you're going to be very thankful for this course.
There you go.
I really appreciate it. Appreciate all the time, all the questions, all the support, all the congratulations. So again, Scott, man, I can't thank you enough. And we'll be in contact soon. And I dropped my email and my phone number in there. If anybody else has any questions after this, feel free to reach out.
That's the best part about this, man. Everybody's like together in this stuff. So thank you so much. Have a great night. Say hello to your wife and just take the night off and relax. And you did great. We're proud of you, man.
All
See you
right.
around.
Cheers. June, I won't touch the Trello board.
All right. Yeah. All right. See you guys. Bye bye.